Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post-show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
What's up, it's your girl Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you're watching Going In Raw. You like that?
This is Shayna Baszler, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife,
Marie.
and you are going in SmackDown Live.
This is the glorious one, Bobby Roode, and you're watching Going In Raw.
Hey guys, this is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up? It's the moonwalking, trash talking princess of Staten Island. I want to remind you all that Mela is money, and you're watching Going In Raw.
Hi, this is Shinsuke Nakamura. Just keep watching Going In the Raw.
This is the knockout artist, Cassius Ohno, and you're going in Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steven Larson. And available wherever fine podcasts are. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notify bell next to make sure you always get your new Going In Raw notifications. And you get access to the community tab. When you get that, I posted up a poll yesterday. We're doing some reflection on our channel. And so we're curious as to what people would like to see in the new year. I know, the new year, it's fairly arbitrary, the new year, But like we could have had this reflection back in name a month.
September.
Yeah, we could have done it then. But, a lot of people equate.
New Year is a time to recap, to reflect.
I guess so.
To look forward.
I guess so. It's so arbitrary. Gives us a reason to tinker with
things. Is there any sort of scientific basis for, like, do they say, even at some point, like, the month of January starts when the Earth is in some particular position relative to the sun?
Oh, I don't think so.
And then after it does one whole orbit, when it reaches that point again, that's when the new year starts. Isn't it? What? I don't know. 12 months around the sun, right? Yeah, I mean, that's the time it takes to do one rotation around the sun.
Yeah,
but I don't know if January is actually the mark of one particular position, the Earth relative to the sun. You know what I mean?
Oh, you mean
in its orbit?
You mean if there is like one point on the sun, and
here, like this is the sun. We're spinning around it.
Yeah, sure.
Like.
So this is January, and this is
Exactly,
January again.
But did they measure it when they determined this is January? This is where the Earth is melted relative to the sun. That's what I'm asking. Or is it just arbitrary? This is January because this is where we happen to be relative to the sun.
You mean how did the mark of the new year start?
In a scientific basis, yeah, with our position to the sun.
I'm sure there's an answer to that. I have no idea.
Right.
I really don't know. I imagine so. Maybe with sundials or something?
Maybe.
We have no clue. We have no idea.
No, we took an astronomy class. We still don't know.
I don't think that's the right subject for that.
No, I don't think it is either.
Anyways. So we put up a poll. And we're looking at it very closely.
Mm-hmm.
I also did kind of a similar. I was kind of curious as to like where people found us. We'll do a video once we figured it all out. We're like in planning stages right now, and all these plans should start playing out at the beginning of the new year. But we're also got some cool stuff coming up for the Patreon as well. So Waymaker said, "Have you been smoking?"
No,
I still don't
in my head.
quite understand the nature of your question.
Did some ancient people, or even not that ancient people, like the Mayans, apparently pretty good at the math and science.
Yeah,
stuff,
sure.
Or various civilizations.
Okay.
So at one point during the early days of astronomy, let's call it that, they recognized, all right, sun's here, Earth is here.
Yeah.
We are spinning around sun.
Start year now, right?
This is the position of the Earth in its orbit, going around the sun in what we'll call January.
Yeah.
That's the nature of my question. Was there a fixed point during the orbit of the Earth around the sun where they decided this is where the new year starts?
Well, everything's moving all the time. So relative to the sun.
Well, it'd be their position on Earth relative to the orbit to the sun.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I still don't quite grasp what you're saying.
I mean, pretty much what I'm saying is like, do they decide January starts here when the Earth is in its orbit around the sun? That's what I'm asking.
Oh. How would they determine that?
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
I don't know. What kind of measurements could they do?
Man. I feel like we should probably get high to figure this out.
Yeah, maybe.
Screw doing any research. Anyways, so we have a lot to get through today. Like I said, we are on the Patreon, though, at patreon.com/Steven Larson. We got some new patrons in. I'll read their names now for their shout-outs. Alejandro Gomez, John Paul White, and Jason Kerr. And then Richard Fitzpatrick. I think I might have said Richard's name yesterday, but you know what? A second shout-out ain't going to kill nobody. So thank you all for your support. We really appreciate it. Here we go. Silvers Tanner says it was geocentric versus heliocentric. RJ says the calendar is based on the winter solstice.
Well, the winter solstice is about 2 weeks before what we determine the new year.
Yeah.
Because the winter solstice, that would be when the Earth in the northern hemisphere is furthest away from the sun.
Then
so
confirmed?
Shortest day of the year.
Confirmed then?
But on the southern hemisphere, it's the longest day of the year.
Where were these people when they were figuring it all out? I don't know. I don't know where they were.
See, all that I know.
Waymaker thinks he knows. It started when they discovered it took 365 and a quarter days to revolve around the sun.
But when did they determine that to be the start of the year in terms of its orbit, or was it just arbitrary?
Yeah, that seems like it had to have been arbitrary.
Probably.
In terms of like, hey, we found this we figured this out, how many days it takes to go around the sun. So when does January start? Right now.
Probably.
Maybe, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sure it had to do something with hunting and gathering food and stuff.
Maybe.
Winter, floods, agriculture, maybe.
I mean, the winter solstice makes sense because it's an event, because it's the shortest day. That's why Christmas is when it is. It's winter solstice.
Zan Baxton says New Year's is based on the Roman calendar. It's not universal Chinese New Year's in January.
Oh, I know that. Yeah.
Oh, my God, that's right.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of other New Year's out there.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Anyways, I can feel people tuning out right now, Larson. Let's get right into this.
This is all very interesting stuff.
Well, to us. But people, they're looking for a wrestling podcast right now, man.
We're wrestling with science right now.
Listen, we have an entire 30 minutes of overrun. We're going to talk about this. We're going to get this settled.
All right.
And we might play that new game. I might try to figure that out today.
Which new
live. Wrestling Pictionary.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, let's do these super chats and we get to, because we got a lot to get through. First, Adam Mayhem, Robert Alomar says, thanks for everyone who supported Project Beta last night. We've only just begun. We are blowing it up.
It's always weird when you call him Robert. I always just call him Adam Mayhem.
That's what his name is here.
No, I get that it's a shoot name. I just always call him Adam Mayhem. Even if it's like me and him just in a discussion, I'm like, so Adam Mayhem.
Okay. All right.
Maybe he's weirded out by that. I don't know.
Philly Flexer, Mustafa Ali booking SmackDown, yay or nay? Yeah, give Mustafa Ali the book. On Raw, though. The SmackDown doing pretty well. Tim Spulak, I want to buy a Friendo in need. Any one thing they want from FriendoMarket.com. Tim's great. He does a lot for the Friendoverse. I foot the bill and have it shipped anywhere in the world. Guys, please pick a Friendo and send me the bill. Love you all.
Don't put this on us. Go into the Patreon chat and do something. I don't know. It seems like it's an extra layer, and then we got to play favorites or something. That ain't no good. I don't want to do that.
Let's have some nominations. Let's take to the Friendoverse on Facebook. Take to Discord.
Oh, man.
Wherever.
Dude, you're looking to start a civil war right now.
No. I mean, make your case. But if someone out there knows of a friendo who, as Tim says, is in need, then let us know and we'll see what we can work out. That seems to be the best way to do it.
I don't know, man. It sounds like there's probably multiple friendos in need.
Or should we just do it how the New Year was decided, arbitrarily?
Arbitrarily. Here, let's just do this. I'll do this. I'm just gonna go. Wait, no. I'm gonna scroll up and stop right here. Tim Spulak,
buy yourself a shirt.
All right, let's get into this, man. Today we're going to talk about NXT, NXT UK, NXT UK again, and 205 Live, not particularly in that order.
Too much NXT UK.
We're going to kick... No, I mean, I watched... We actually made an agreement yesterday. You were going to watch episode 15. I was going to watch episode 16. I ended up watching both because I do love NXT UK, but I do acknowledge it's way too much. If we want to bring back Going In Raw View, we're going to have to split them up.
Hold that thought. I have an idea.
Okay.
We'll talk about it later.
Oh, okay. Usually we do our business on camera. NXT kicked off
but I'm not going to.
with the Undisputed Era coming out, dropping a promo. Adam Cole was very serious. He said 2019, we're going to be draped
in championship gold.
So much cash. Mm-hmm. So much gold. Bullion.
Doubloons.
Yarr. Anyways, Bobby Fish noticeably was dressed to fight. The others were dressed casual.
Therefore, Bob Fish had match.
Yeah, Roderick Strong during Adam Cole's promo, too, is great. He kept on saying, so much energy. I love it. I love those guys. They're great.
They're the best. Anyways, there was a match between Bob Fish and EC3. Good match. I'm going to take a whole lot of notes, unfortunately. EC3 won the roll-up. And then Undisputed Era attack. And Heavy Machinery with no shirts on made a save.
So were they like in the middle
like
of
dad jeans and no shirts?
Those are mom jeans.
They were in the middle of
getting dressed, apparently.
The steak. Oh, I thought they were in the steaks aspect of their steaks and weights.
Do you cook shirtless?
I probably have before.
I mean, I might have it like a
at a barbecue, yeah,
maybe. But I don't know. You don't really go shirtless that often unless you're going to go in the pool.
Mm-hmm.
You're like a never nude.
Well, I don't take my shirt off very often.
Yeah, who does, really? I mean, if I was like freaking Bob Roode or something.
If I look like Finn Balor, then maybe.
All the time. It'd be all day.
Yeah.
Beef.
Yeah.
All day.
I'll be here just like rub my abs all day.
Yeah. But like Heavy Machine. I mean, here's the thing. It is actually kind of endearing that they come out with their shirts off.
Maybe they were backstage, shirts on, saw a fight was happening, took shirt off.
Could be. I think it would have been even cooler if they came out to the stage with shirts on and then took them off.
No, they got to take the shirts off while they're running down the ramp.
Yeah. More dramatic.
Well,
the
also,
crowd would have been even more into it.
It makes it more likely for someone to fall. If I take the shirt off while they're running, the shirt caught in their head.
Yeah, but
Otis
over. Doing that would be hilarious.
It would be.
I might be on their side at this point.
There you go.
Unfortunately, right now, sorry, not. It's all about the Undisputed Era.
And it's pretty obvious there are substitutes for War Raiders.
I kind of, yeah. Well, no, I thought what's his face's injury turned out to be a work.
Oh, Hanson's?
Yeah, I thought.
I didn't hear that.
I think that's what Meltzer said.
Oh, okay.
No, I think maybe they're like, hey, War Raiders are always going to be there. These guys got to do something. Like in their little promo last week, it's been 18 months since we had our tag match. We've learned a lot. Number one, 18 months went by quick.
Yeah, it did.
Number two,
it's been a year and a half since they had the match against Authors of Pain?
Yeah, apparently.
Wow.
So, yeah, they need to
I suppose.
get with it.
I suppose.
Time to get called up, or GTFO, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
So they need to have their little program with Undisputed Era.
If they get called up, you're getting sent right to Raw. Heavy Machinery? Yeah, they're going to Raw. Anyways.
I'm trying to look at that math. I don't know. You think so?
Yeah.
Wait, well, why? Why?
Because they fit into the general vibe of the Raw tag division.
Well, that's not a good thing, though.
I didn't say it was.
I was hoping that Raw would try to make their tag division better. That's why I was thinking they'd go to SmackDown.
Well, if they went to SmackDown, they'd never be on TV.
Well, yeah. I don't think if they go to Raw, they're going to be on TV.
They will for a little bit.
Maybe.
A couple weeks.
They're going to be main event players.
I mean, if Sanity can't get on TV.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Anyways, in the end, Kyle O'Reilly eats a TKO from EC3. I'm guessing we're going to get some sort of 6-man tag match in the coming weeks.
So I kind of wish that EC3 would maybe stay in character a bit more, like not so much of a face, like he gives Heavy Machinery shirts to put on. Because he's obviously an immaculate human being, and he got like his hair in order now. It looks great.
Yeah, he got
looks like a proper action figure.
Bit. Yeah, he got trimmed up a little bit.
So he should be like, guys, you need to put some shirts on if you're gonna be with me, okay?
And you give him like some expensive shirts because he's top 1%.
Just cover it up. It doesn't matter. You put some sheets on. It doesn't matter. Just cover up, man. Cover up. Anyways, Dakota Kai, she's in an interview.
So Io Shirai's gimmick is,
I hope not.
She's my friend.
Yeah. Which could have its charm, but so far I'm failing to find it. I just want to see a badass beating people up.
I know.
But maybe that's, yeah. I don't know. It's kind of silly. She has a cute little smile, though. She does seem like a very charming individual.
She does.
I just want to see that moonsault all day long.
I know.
That's all I want to see. I don't want to see people hugging each other.
Dakota Kai had a cool shirt, and then the Slayer font said King Slayer.
Yeah, is that official?
No, I don't think so.
That's a Seth Rollins thing, right? So
not officially. Oh, I know that.
Where'd she get that shirt from? Then?
I don't know. Look online. It's probably from Redbubble or something.
And stuff. Oh, please. Okay, now I'll look it up.
All right. Next, we had a really fun match between the Mighty and Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. Yeah, right there.
T-shirt Palace. All right, what's this one? This one says authentic Kingslayer shirt. Wrong, not it. It looks like it.
It's from Walmart.
That's cool. Yeah, but Walmart has like a sub thing.
Yeah, I know. You can buy sneakers on Walmart now. They have like a secondary market.
Yeah, exactly. And some of it is like bootleg T-shirts. Kingslayer, funny. Maybe they're trying to be like Game of Thrones thing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
could be.
That's silly. Get out of my web browser.
All right, that's what you're getting for Christmas. Anyways, next really fun tag match between the Mighty and Lorcan and Birch. This is good stuff.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
I'm kind of surprised the Mighty didn't win. They needed to win. They desperately need to win.
That's their story in NXT. These guys
Desperately
need a
needing
freaking
to win.
win, man. Desperately needs a win.
Desperately needing to go in. That's the Mighty story.
That's their gimmick. They're mighty hungry for a victory.
Yeah.
Mighty
desperate for a win, yeah.
This was a fun match, so hard-hitting, physical, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, it was really physical. There was a lot of clotheslines. You hear the obvious slap sound of arm on flesh.
That's what
There's
you
a
get
lot of
with,
that.
with Lorcan and Birch. They
But the
don't hold
Mighty
back,
were dishing
man.
it out too, man.
Yeah.
There was just a lot of physicality. It was good. It was fun. I enjoyed this.
Danny Burch picked up the win for his team after his finisher on Shane Thorne.
Yeah.
So good. Oh, Johnny Gargano needs
Nice
to look at his
promo.
lens. Whenever he does, he did another one from the park, from the scene of the crime.
Yeah, the parking lot area.
The parking lot area, the quad, where he's on his iPhone again. It's all super grainy. I don't really believe his promos. I think he's one of those guys, kind of like AJ. I find it really difficult to believe that he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
I just do. He just seems like more than literally anybody in the WWE, he has the kindest demeanor.
Yeah.
He's got sort of even a kind slouch.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
trying to intimidate anybody slouch.
Yeah.
Which is really great when he's the underdog guy.
Well,
but
and then when you
he's-
see his Twitter and it's like a bunch of posts from him and Candace at Disneyland and stuff.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You
And
know,
then today's
or
like,
Disney World.
I'm happy to be the official ambassador for Supercard, that like weird game that I have no idea how it play. How
Yeah,
it's
it's a mobile
played.
thing.
Yeah, I don't get any of that stuff. Tony Pizza Guy, I think, plays that.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for that kind of content, go check him out.
Yes,
He's great.
he is great.
I don't understand it though. So yeah, and then on top of that, it's always obvious that he's looking at his phone.
He's
at
monitoring
his,
himself.
his
other than
image.
His lens. If you hadn't pointed it out to me, I might not have noticed.
It was bad last time, and maybe it's just a me thing. I'm totally willing to admit that, but it's last time it was really bad.
I'll be honest, to a certain degree, it doesn't really necessarily bother me if people don't stare into the lens.
Really?
No, it doesn't
when they're
bother me.
just okay. Let's have a conversation. Hey, dude, how's it going?
But he's not having a conversation with me.
With the entire audience, sure,
Not
he is,
directly
absolutely.
with me. It doesn't bother me.
How you doing, man? What are we
Doing
gonna
fine.
go get for lunch today?
I don't know. I didn't bring anything. I need some protein and some vegetables.
Right on. Tell me that doesn't bug you. It does bug you.
No, it doesn't bother me.
You want some vegetables? How about you feast on some highs? Because up next was a Donovan Dijak promo.
No, Dominic Dijakovic.
I can't say that name.
It's too many syllables.
It's like Supercard. It confuses me.
Yeah, another vignette. He's going to debut next week. Are you excited? Yes, top-notch super best on NXT TV.
Oh, he's being covered up by Becky right there. A little bit. Ah, don't touch the man. Handsy.
I was trying to show everybody top-notch.
We're going to see him next week.
We're going to feast
Feast.
our eyes.
Feast our. Do they jack with his voice a little bit?
I don't remember his voice being that deep.
Do they get Punishment Martinez?
I was
to do
going to
his
say,
voice?
did Punishment Martinez give him deep voice lessons?
Oh, man.
Because
it's
when I
so
offered
cheesy.
Punishment a donut, his voice was deep,
Yeah.
but not kayfabe deep. It wasn't like this. He was like,
Yeah. No, I don't want that donut. No, I was like,
No, I better not.
No, I'm good. Yeah, so Dijakovic, he's debuting next week. That's fantastic.
I don't remember him being like an MMA guy either. There's a lot of striking.
I'll
in
be
this
honest,
stuff.
I don't remember dick about him.
We saw him wrestle at a PWG show.
Who'd he fight? Is it the one that Lacey went to, or just you and me?
Yeah. It was Bola. Oh, who'd he wrestle? It was a match before the Joey Janela Sammy Guevara match.
Boy, I don't remember anything except for the Joey Janela Sammy Guevara match, which was a hell of a match.
It was fun. We got to see Walter against Keith Lee that night too.
Boy, I have got the worst memory, dude. I need some
Bola 2017.
Alpha Brain or something.
It was night 2, I think we went to.
That was when he was doing the Space Jam thing, right?
Who?
Dijak.
Oh, I don't think so. Oh, it was Trevor Lee.
Really?
It was him versus Trevor Lee, Guevara versus Joey Janela.
Maybe it was night 1 that he did a tag match with somebody else, and they had like the Space Jam
Must have been.
jerseys on.
Must have been. That was the same night we saw the Elite take on Flamita and the Lucha Brothers.
Oh, I remember that. Ooh, boy, that was a hot match.
When Phoenix knocked the light out of the light fixture.
Yeah, that was a great match. They really tore the house down. Literally. So who's he fighting next week? Have you read spoilers?
No. I'll say Kona Reeves, though.
That makes sense. After that, we had... I wonder if he's going to be laughing while he wrestles again.
We fought Ricochet that one time?
Was it Dream or Ricochet? I think it was Dream.
Oh, Dream, yeah.
He's laughing the whole time.
He's probably just happy to be there, man.
I know. Finally, he's not doing so. Didn't he do security? He did security, right? Man, that's rough.
Next, we had a Shayna Baszler interview. She was joined by Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke. They were responding to the challenge laid down by Dakota Kai and Io Shirai for a tag match. Shayna said, yeah, they'll fight.
They said
they
laughed him off. They said, what do you guys think about that? They just laughed him off.
Challenge accepted. So that's happening next week, I believe. It was announced that Lacey Evans is going to be in the Fatal 4-Way match, become new #1 contender for NXT.
I like this because they showed footage from her qualifying match, which was on the house show circuit.
Yeah.
And I really hope that they do put together that house show TV. I love it, man. It looks like all like fan cams.
I know, it's
everybody
great.
with their iPhones out. Every angle looks different, color time different. Just
different grain, everything.
Like a freaking episode of Tape Trade. Next up, we had Mia Yim versus Reina Gonzalez. What was Reina Gonzalez's nickname? The Texan, something Texan? Terrible Texan, something like that?
Something like that.
I don't know. It was cool. Anytime you have Texas in a nickname, it's cool. In any event, Mia Yim got a win with Eat the Feet. But I like that Reina Gonzalez. I think she's cool.
Yeah.
Sort of a hossier wrestler.
Yeah, they say she's 6 foot.
Yeah, dude, she's big. Yeah. But she moved really, really well.
Yeah, she always has. The 2 Mae Young Classics she's been in, she's moved really well.
Yeah.
Aleister Black promo.
I like this. This is cool.
Earlier in Johnny Gargano's iPhone promo where he wasn't looking at the lens, he said, what sins do I have to be absolved of? I didn't sin. I did what I had to do. Ends justify the means. You're in my way to fulfill my destiny as NXT champion. You got in the way. You had to be removed. And Aleister said, well, you're too far gone, obviously. John Gargano to be forgiven.
Yeah, I appreciate that he referred to him as his wrestling name, and then when he was sort of speaking to him,
John.
He called him John. John, you're too far gone to be absolved of your sins. Instead, I'm going to eat your face in a steel cage.
3 many sins.
3 many sins. You have too many sins. I mean, 3 many sins. I'm going to sprinkle you with black masses.
I'm going to scoop your limp body off the canvas and deliver a third many more.
Oh, Ice Cream Man's here. I'm here.
I'll take a rocket pop, please.
Would you like a bag of Fritos with that? John. John, you owe me $1.50 for that black mass.
I know. For your orange sickle.
For your orange sickle. Oh, man.
Oh, goodness. Main event, Ricochet against surprise opponent Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze.
It was a fun match. You forget how good a wrestler Tyler Breeze is.
It's easy to forget. I every time I see Tyler Breeze, I always think to myself, I want to go back and watch that Jushin Liger match that he had. Full wrestled Jushin Liger in NXT. How weird is that?
I know.
Top 10 matches you forgot you always want to go back and watch and keep on forgetting. Coming up on Count Out. But yeah, and no, this is a hell of a match. This dude can wrestle.
Heck yeah.
Again, top 10 guys, they're being wasted by not being in New Japan. Number 1, Seth Rollins. Number 2, Tyler Breeze.
Yeah. That supermodel kick followed by the inverted Rana, man. Devastating.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he is not, for him, he is not North American champion. Or fortunately, because he'll be taking a huge pay cut if he was.
Yeah, Ricochet picks up the win with a Michinoku driver. Didn't have to bust out his finisher.
I appreciate people were pleasantly surprised that it was Tyler Breeze. They gave him lots of love.
Yeah, it was a good pop.
But I think deep down, they're all hoping to be like some big debut D-butt guy.
Yeah, hoping they'd be able to feast their eyes.
No, I don't think they're open for that, man. After that, we also had 205 Live.
Yeah.
Which kicked off with Buddy Murphy.
This show, there's so much to get through. Just feels like a list of things we're saying happen.
That's basically what we do. And then, especially on that's why I like this version of the show. It's a list of things that we simply find funny.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of funny stuff in all these deep cut shows.
Yeah.
There really is.
Anyways, yeah, Buddy Murphy versus Grand Metalik.
Ooh.
It was a fun match. I like it when 205 Live just has 2 matches and a little talking stuff in between.
Yeah, 205 Live keeps it breezy, man. It's like 45 minutes long.
It's the perfect length.
It is. It really is.
Great match in the end. There's this great, 2 great spots back to back where Metalik looked like he was going to take a Murphy's Law. He reverses out of it into a roll. Buddy kicks out at 2. Mm-hmm. And then right after that, Metalik does that springboard off the rope. Buddy catches him. Murphy's Law. He picks up the win. Yeah. It was great. Murphy even kicked out of a Metalik driver.
You know what they should do? They should have Grand Metalik in a match against one of those other luchadors, but they can't get on the mat or the floor. They can only be on the ropes. That'd probably be a terrible match.
It would.
That'd be an awful match. It'd be probably like a lot of slapping.
It'd probably be more like you can't be on the mat for more than 3 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Otherwise, lava.
Uh-huh.
Or spikes.
The chasm opens up and swallows you.
Alligators.
Yeah, sharks.
Yeah.
It's like something like a Bond villain would do.
Yeah. They throw a snake at him.
Mm-hmm. Throw a snake at him. And those little alligators. One's about that large.
It was just mildly, ow!
What are they called? Caimans?
Oh, is that what they're called?
I think that's what little alligators are called.
I saw this video the other day of a couple of
show a listing of finishes and random tangents. That's what the show
is. This show really is for the hardcore fans, okay?
It really is, yeah.
If you look at the numbers on it, that's sort of reflected as well. Anyways, I was watching a video and it featured 2 what are they called? Those dragons, kimono dragons?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fighting. And good Lord, I want to see a match with a couple of those guys because they were like body slamming each other. It was great.
See, there it is. Look, Cayman.
Little tiny guy.
I don't know how small they are, but I think they're smaller than normal alligators.
In any event, at one point, Buddy Murphy caught Grand Metalik off a springboard, hit Murphy's Law, got a win.
No, they're not that small. They can be 16 feet.
Jesus, that's just a regular crocodile.
Yeah, no, pretty much.
After that, we had Kendrick.
I thought there was a name for smaller alligators, like a little pickle is a gherkin.
A little, yeah.
I thought there was a name for a smaller alligator.
I really got into pickles older in life, like later in life.
As you get older, you appreciate more complex flavors.
Yeah, it's like kids with cheese pizza.
Yeah.
Don't you want something on your
No,
pizza,
they don't want anything
Alabama?
on it.
I don't like this.
And then they get old and they're like, oh, pineapple on pizza is delicious.
Yeah. If Alabama ever says that, number one.
Yeah.
Kendrick, Brian Kendrick, that is, and Akira Tozawa backstage. Drake Maverick.
He was saying you got a tag match next week against Gulak and Gallagher. It's a street fight. You guys have history with street fights.
Which is ironic. And then they just stood there. And he was like, because back in 2017, you guys fought in a really epic street fight. And Brian Kendrick gave some motivation behind his heel ways. Said he was a desperate man to keep his job. He had a history in WWE. He wanted to hold on to his job this time. And so he would manipulate people, including Akira Tozawa. Now, he's seen the error in his ways, and he's a changed man. He's really trying to sell that he's a changed man.
Well, then Tozawa said, well, if you're a changed man, you still look the same. Come with me. So I guess Brian Kendrick's getting a makeover.
Yeah, that's right. Because they leave, and then Akira Tozawa comes back, and he says, by the way, you lost those Raw tag titles. You're fired!
Hopefully that's a little foreshadowing.
Yeah, exactly.
Next, Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher iPhone promo.
Wait, so hold on. Speculate. What do you think Brian Kendrick, what's going to change about him? Going to cut his hair? Is he going to wear some cool... Akira Tozawa's board shorts, those wrestling shorts are awesome.
They are, but Kendrick has like the best collection of wrestling pants in the entire industry.
Yeah, I don't like his leather jacket, though.
Yeah, no, that might change.
That bugs me. But I don't know what
maybe
he can do to change.
He won't be the Brian Kendrick. Maybe he'll be a Brian Kendrick.
We already saw him. He was a jobber before, remember? That dude's already got that gimmick. Or it wasn't it was just Brian Kendrick.
What's another article you can put in front of his name? It's
at Brian Kendrick.
That's just like a Twitter handle.
What was the word? It's like how Ciampa does it.
How about it's Brian Kendrick?
That's good. Do you mean in possessive or it is?
It is.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like blank. It's Brian Kendrick.
No.
Who's Brian Kendrick? Is that? It's Brian Kendrick.
It's Brian Kendrick.
Yeah.
I meant it is Brian Kendrick.
He belongs to. Anyways, after that we had Drew Gulak and Gallagher.
I just kind of tune out when these guys talk.
Lacey found Lacey's a big Redditor. She found a GIF on Reddit of early Jack Gallagher.
Yeah.
Getting out of a headlock from Daivari in a very clever way. He like
Oh yeah, like an early 205 Live days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's when he was fun and good and fun. He would do clever things.
There's nothing clever about him now.
Or intimidating or interesting.
Yeah, no. Like, I like Drew, but this pairing does nothing for me.
It does nothing for me. Jack Gallagher as a heel does nothing for me. I want him to go back to the candy stripes and
being fun and creative.
This creative stuff. That's the one he's at his best. He was over, too. People liked it.
Yeah, no. He had that promo about being cruel. And apart from, I think, one match really during the Cruiserweight tournament, the second one, when the title was vacated, the match against Mustafa Ali, that's like the only time I'd ever describe anything he did in the ring as cruel. Although his match against, who was he against? He had a match in the second UK tournament that was pretty solid. It's like he can do decent stuff. I don't know why it just doesn't come across on 205 Live.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways.
I think also, you know what bugs me every week in 205 Live? Because I actually really like their opening video package. They do that shot of that close-up of Gallagher, and then they cut to another closer-up of Gallagher.
Yeah.
And it bugs the crap out of me.
But it's not that much closer up.
Right,
it's
exactly.
Almost a jump cut.
It's almost a jump cut, and it's not like to a beat. It's just irritating.
And it's not like he's doing anything interesting.
No, he's just
it's a shot like this, and like there's, the intensity is focused in his eyes. And you cut in as
and
the
you
intensity
see his
grows.
Fingers here
eyes.
too, and you see his fingers too.
Like that'd be something.
And then watch fire.
Yeah, eye laser. That would work, but it's just face cutting closer to same face.
Yeah,
it's not impactful. Yeah. Anyways, next Arya Daivari interview. He's saying while he was gone, everybody's worried about Twitter compliments, all this other stuff. Yeah. No one's there to fight.
Yeah,
he wants to fight. In walks Hideo Hitami, says, "I like what you did last week. Respect. Shake hands. Feels his shirt. Takes off." So I guess we got a new pairing.
Yeah,
we got all these would-be tag teams, but no titles.
That's a weird segment. There was definitely some romantic overtones there, man.
You feel like it?
Take it out of wrestling. This is totally like, it's romantic overtures. It was. That's a real man right there. And the other dude comes up. Good job. Like, let's explore that a little bit. I want to see him on a date or something. And they can also be, they can be fighters also.
Okay.
But it's totally like, you go up to a person, hey, look at you, real man. I like that Daivari's talking about all these people being flashy. I'm like, look at your shirt. You're the flashiest guy here.
I know.
Anyways.
I know. Main event, Tony Nese versus Cedric Alexander. The pace of this match was ridiculous. They never let up. They did some crazy stuff. There was a couple times it looked like Cedric Alexander was about to fall off the top rope. They covered it up nicely because Tony Nese hit him with like a huge palm strike.
Maybe somebody really liked that spot where Buddy Murphy a couple weeks ago
almost fell on his head.
Almost fell on his head, and they were like, hey, we should do that more.
But I think if anything, if there was a couple little bumpy spots, I think it was just because they were doing a lot.
Furious pace.
Without any let up.
And yeah, it's not exactly supposed to be two opponents who are all respectful and they're putting on a display. These guys do not like each other.
Yeah.
And Tony Nese is standing in the way of Cedric Alexander and that title.
Yeah.
So yeah. But now he's not because Cedric won with a lumbar check.
Yeah, a really fun match though.
I love this last part. So they slightly went away from what I was predicting was going to happen. Buddy Murphy did storm to the ring. They did fight, but
Cedric got the upper hand.
Cedric got the upper hand. He stood tall. I have 3 confidence points on Cedric Alexander. I'm willing to that's fine. They're gone.
I think I have 4 or 3. I think maybe it's 3 as well.
I think we were the same on that one. But I do appreciate that Buddy Murphy didn't do the thing that so many heels do, and it's so predictable. Runs to the ring, stops. No, we'll do it later.
Yeah.
That dude is ready to throw.
I was kind of expecting Buddy to run down, stop, and say, I'll get you next time, and have Tony Nese get up and attack him.
Yeah.
But he really sold the lumbar check, what you need to do.
Yeah, totally. So TLC, that should be a hell of a match. Hopefully they give it. I don't think they're going to give it a lot of time because there's like 13.
There's so many.
There's a ton of matches.
And did you notice while we were doing predictions yesterday, there was no mention of Nakamura versus Rusev or Joe versus Jeff Hardy on the list of matches.
Oh my God, really?
No.
Well, those matches will be better for just being on SmackDown.
Oh, I know.
Then,
I mean, that's the way this card's shaping up. It's going to be like 6-minute matches.
Get in, have a match, get out.
I know.
Quickly.
I don't want that. I don't want matches to have time.
Breathe. Feast your eyes on long matches.
So next, double shot of NXT UK.
Episodes 15
and 16. Episode 15 kicked off the match between Flash Morgan Webster and Fabian Eichner. You know who Fabian Eichner reminds me of a lot? Cesaro. A combination of Cesaro.
Oh, he talks like Cesaro.
And Buddy Murphy. Like,
oh, that's a good comment. Yeah, okay, I can see that.
The intensity, the purpose with which he does each and every one of his moves reminds me a lot of Buddy Murphy.
The thing that I like of it, number one, he's a terrific. You're right. He's a terrific wrestler. Number two, I like that his ring attire, and I just noticed that.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't the same as it was in NXT. He's got like some tore-up jeans now.
Well, he's perpetual street fight guy, because that's what you wear in a street fight is jeans, but then knee pads over it.
And boots over jeans.
Boots over jeans.
He's always prepared for street fight.
Exactly. Yeah. I appreciate that. His match against Mark Andrews last week was stellar.
Really good.
Just stellar.
Really good.
And so I expected a bit of the same this week.
Now I'm hoping he gets that opportunity to show off a bit of personality. Because if he gets to show off some personality, because I think like the way he carries himself in the ring is really solid.
Yeah, sure.
But if he can tap into some personality and find a way to showcase it outside of the ring, on the microphone, backstage stuff, whatever.
What little we've seen so far of that has been good.
Yeah,
you know, his little interaction here and there with Flash Morgan last week.
Yeah, his little trash talk.
He was like, "Hey, I don't know that you're taking liberties." He was like,
"Here's your pint for you."
Aren't you a production guy?
I know.
Yeah, pint right here.
Hey,
see, it's not here. It's always here.
Oh, okay. It's like, here, PA, hold my beer.
Exactly.
Anyways, before the match started, there was this bit between Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster where they were apparently talking. I couldn't hear a word they were saying because the music was too dang loud.
You texted me that, and you were gonna watch this. I was gonna watch 16, and so I had at this point I was like, oh man, I love NXT UK.
This and the Gallus backstage stuff, I couldn't hear anything.
They just have one dude rushing through these episodes.
I couldn't hear a thing.
Levels are all over the place. There was one during the second episode where Joseph Connors pulled out a win against this dude named Zach Stars. It was this total squash match, and his music kicked in so loud you couldn't even hear. They couldn't even get the levels right on Vic Joseph and Nigel McGuinness.
They do that in post.
They do it in post.
That
like
stuff was shot months later. Come on.
Hey, that one dude they have cutting this though is like he's overworked.
He's super overworked. I understand.
British Hilton is overworked.
I don't.
Connecticut Hilton is overworked.
I'm sorry, Orlando Hilton.
Thank you.
All done in Orlando.
That's what this is done.
During the match, Eichner sends Webster into the ring steps, and then Mark Andrews runs down, and he like tends to Flash and is like, "Come on, you can do it. Get in there. I'm rooting for you."
Yeah.
More destruction from Eichner. Webster tries to rally when he can. And then in a repeat from the spot last week, Eichner is going for a running knee onto Webster against the ring steps. And Andrews runs around and is like, don't you do that.
Don't you do it.
And
don't do it.
They start arguing.
Yeah.
Eichner throws Webster back in the ring. Still arguing with Andrews. Goes for his awesome power bomb, and then Webster reverses it into a jackknife cover. He wins.
So here's what I like about this, is that so far, because Pete Dunne is obviously hugging that title for a very long time, even from now, he's going to have it for a while. There's no mid-card belt, so what's happening? Everybody
50-50 booking.
Well, no. Well, there's a little bit of that, but everybody is going to tag teams. There are like 50 tag teams now. Everybody is butting up.
I wonder though, once they get this tag title situation worked out at TakeOver, if that'll just kind of go by the wayside.
I don't know, man.
Because I think the logic right now is Pete Dunne's up there with that title. He's not letting go. Feast our eyes on those tag titles. That's belts that no one has. We can get those maybe. But once someone has those, we're like, well, if someone has those belts,
we'll just scatter.
Everybody scatter. There's some scraps we could fight over maybe.
Off to the pub, lads.
Yeah. Feast eyes on pints.
The thing that I love about Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews, that they obviously have formed a tag team to take on one guy. Fabian Eichner.
I mean, I guess in terms of girth, one Fabian Eichner equals
exactly
Mark Andrews plus Flash Morgan Webster.
Dude, this is going to turn into a face handicap match, like a handicap match where the faces have the stronger odds
and lose.
That's what I'm going to let. This Fabian Eichner is great.
He is great.
So that's awesome.
Next, we had this pretty funny Mir Jordan interview. It was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
And then Kenny Williams comes in and is like, "Why are take things seriously? Hopefully."
Yeah.
Luck is on our side.
The dude wearing like Kushida's outfit, he's a Back to the Future fan.
But then he's a Luckian. What's a Luckian?
I don't know.
That's what they call him, the Luckian. It's a made-up term, isn't
He's
it?
like the lucky one. He's,
No, I get what it's supposed to mean. I've never heard the term Luckian before.
Well, it's probably a very British thing.
It might be.
Or a Scottish thing, I don't know.
But I just feel like he needs to decide if he's going to be the guy who relies on good luck or if he's going to be Back to the Future aficionado. Which one is it going to be?
Maker, can we please get an explanation for Luckian? Is that a thing, or do they just make that up for this guy?
I'll tell you what. Like Kenny Williams, he seemed like a fine wrestler.
Oh, a great guy, yeah.
There's one thing that kind of bugs me about this whole thing.
Do tell.
Okay. So, in Back to the Future 2, of course, Marty's wearing the Air Mags, the self-lacing shoes.
Yes,
and they're huge and they're bulky.
Yeah.
Nike released like a handful of those a couple years ago. Super expensive. They're like $2,000, $3,000, thousands of dollars probably to buy them in the secondary market. So Kenny Williams, rather than just saying, I'll just wear like boots or something, he goes back to the Nike's version of the pump that Mark Jackson used to wear because they're huge and bulky and vaguely futuristic looking.
Oh, man, yeah.
And I didn't notice this before, but I noticed it last night.
Oh, man.
You're wearing the Mark Jackson shoes.
Dude, poser. Keep it real. Like, either try to get a pair of Nikes that kind of look like those
Well, no, that's what he's
ones.
doing. That's
Yeah.
what he did. He went to the shoes that kind of look like because they're bulky and really high.
Yeah.
But it's like, I know exactly what those are. Those aren't the real shoes.
Oh, but what is he supposed to do, man? These British guys are making like $25K
No,
a year.
I'm not saying he needs to actually buy some Air Mags. Those are ridiculously expensive.
What is he supposed to wear then?
Don't try to intimidate them.
What was Marty wearing in the first episode? The first.
He was wearing some
Chucks?
Nike Bruins.
Wear those.
Yeah, there you go.
Some authenticity.
There you go.
I get what you're saying now.
Don't try to make me feast my eyes intimidation or false Air Mags. I know better.
So Wayne Maker and Alex C both say anything with an "un" after it is a fairly Scottish thing.
Oh, okay.
Is Kenny Williams Scottish?
I think so. I think he is.
All right. Well, that makes sense then. So I'm like a. What would if you were in something "un"? What would you be?
Harry.
Arian. There you go. I'm a Loudon.
Anyways, next we had a Gallus segment backstage. The only thing I heard from this backstage is them saying Gallus. Because the audio was terrible. That's not their fault, though.
Oh, it's not.
I'd like to know what they're saying.
And in fact, if anybody's paying attention to our Twitter this morning,
yeah, that was
evidently we have a member of Gallus that is embedded. Slow Wolfpack member, Wolfgang himself, evidently wants to get his hands on the Slow Wolfpack shirt. We have to make that happen.
Oh, definitely. We'll definitely make that happen.
But will the Coffee Boys appreciate him double dipping factions?
I mean, it's worked out for Dean so far, kind of.
Has it, though?
I mean, there's just been uncertainty, but I didn't really notice any serious tension between the Chilled and Dean.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, that's the bottom line is we got to get Wolfgang on TV,
With
maybe in one of the parking lot brawl segments that doesn't actually happen.
Yeah.
In a Slow Wolfpack shirt.
All over print.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's make that happen.
Let's even get that to happen.
Next, Isla Dawn taking on.
I woke up to that this morning. I was like, well, this is delightful.
I know. You sent that to me, and I was like, oh, wow.
I always think that nobody knows who we are. And then Simon Grimm's at StarCast. Steven Larson, I remember you from 10 for the Win.
No, he goes, Steven Larson. I'm like, oh, shoot. What did we say? And then he said, I remember you guys from 10 for the Win. Then we talked to him for a half hour.
Exactly.
Next, Isla Dawn versus Killer Kelly.
Yeah, it was a fun match. I like Isla Dawn. She's good.
She won with her finisher.
I like that one part where she stood in the corner and she started summoning her powers. Because that's cool.
Yeah.
I wish they would have done like some effects.
Oh, yeah,
but that
definitely.
dude is so overworked, the NXT UK guy.
I'm sure there's some After Effects template they can use for
He can't even get the levels
magical
right.
powers.
Yeah. Get on the Envato market. That's
Audio's not easy.
Yeah, well, all you got to do is quality check it. You just quality check it on your timeline. I was never huge into that. I always let you do that shit. Back in 10 for the Win. What's with this frame here? I don't know. Fix it. Who cares? Nobody cares. It's a crap show. 20 years from now, you're not going to care. Anyways.
Fred the Shed says, I do like the Gallus theme song. I'll agree with that. That's a good theme.
You know what it sounds like? A Dan Auerbach deep cut.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like, because I got Dan Auerbach's solo album, the first one he put out, because back when I was going through a Black Keys phase when they had good stuff.
Yeah, you really fell out of them quick.
They fell out of my good graces quick. Same with My Morning Jacket.
Yeah.
Put out a couple of like terrific albums. And then like I was just listening to Attack and Release the other day. Holy crap, from start to finish, that's a fantastic album. And then the one after that, Brothers, I think it was called, was good. It was sort of all over the map, but it was good. Then Auerbach, I think, came out with this solo album, which is good. And that's this Gallus song.
Yeah, but then
like
the one after that is one that had that Gold on the Ceiling song, right?
Because it's like, oh man, we can make a bunch of money off of car commercials using our songs. Let's just do that.
Oh, wow.
Let's just do a bunch of songs that sound like commercials.
All right.
So, I mean, they should have gone into marketing, done jingles if they want to do that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know,
that's where the money's at.
Their early stuff is fantastic, though.
Never really got into them. Anyways, I thought Killer Kelly's theme sounded pretty cool.
I don't remember it.
Had a good beat.
Yeah.
Anyways, Isla Dawn won. She did an interview afterwards. Says, I want that NXT Women's title. Out comes Rhea Ripley. Says, you want my title? She didn't have a mic. She's like pointing at her belt and screaming. And Isla Dawn says, yeah, let's do a match right now. And Rhea, I guess, said no because she just walked backstage instead of to the ring.
Yeah.
But I guess it's going to happen at some point.
Yes, that thread gets picked up on episode 16.
Next, Dave Mastiff interview where they're asking
when did you notice Eddie Dennis?
As soon as he walked in the frame.
Because where he was sitting way in the like rafters behind him.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he stands
up and starts walking, I was like, oh, it's Eddie Dennis.
As soon as a 9-foot man stood up, I was like, oh, there's Eddie Dennis, even though he's like wildly out of focus.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
So he walks down and goes, so what's this? I hear you're talking about to the undefeated monster of NXT UK. It's like, what about me?
Thought maybe I missed the call, but no, they were talking about you.
I know he said like, what, the journalist talking about. He used the word journalist.
He did, yeah.
And then he got that right.
Yeah.
And so it's all setting up a match next week, which you got to watch.
Yeah. No, it was good. I've got like extensive notes on it too.
Good.
Watched it this morning over eggs.
Delicious.
There's only going to be one man left with undisputed streak in NXT, and then we're going to form a tag team. Then you'll have to go form a tag team with somebody, Eddie Dennis, maybe Fabian Eichner, which actually sounds like it might make sense.
No, I want Fabian Eichner to be his own tag team.
No, me too. But if you think about it, Eddie Dennis is not going to have anything left to do. Same with Zack Gibson. He formed a tag team.
So many people are going to have nothing to do.
He's not going to have anything left to do. What's freaking Prime Coffee guy going to do? Because he's talking about going after Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
While Slow Wolfgang and other coffee guy, Joe. Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Joe is
they're a tag team.
Yeah.
Instead of naturally putting the coffees together. What's he going to do? He can't form a tag team with his brother now because he's already in a tag team with
Slow Wolfgang.
With Slow Wolfgang.
I don't know. It's all very confusing anyways. Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan versus, speaking of tag teams, Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan took on Zack Gibson and James Drake. Did you notice Zack Gibson actually had his finger completely straight?
In his very brief promo in the next episode, he had it like this.
Oh, man.
It was very stiff.
He watches the show. And
does the NXT UK roster just gather around the telly and watch the show?
Like the 205 Live roster did during Mustafa Ali's match.
Right, except they watch Going in Raw, the NXT UK. They feast their eyes over some fish, chips, and scones.
Oh, goodness.
And, of course, many pints.
Yes. Anyways, Gibson picked up the win, pinning Kenny Williams after Ticket to Ride.
Aren't they calling it...
They have a different name for it now. Because James Drake's involved. He does like the lung blower thing into the Ticket to Ride.
It's a ticket to something else now.
Is there another Beatles song with Ticket 2 in the title?
There is not.
I didn't think so.
But it might be an element of one of James Drake's finishers or something.
Are his moves named after...
Maybe where he's from or something.
Some other British invasion band.
I don't know. I feel like everybody
so Flash Morgan Webster, if he had any moves, it'd be named after Who songs.
Correct. What other mod bands were there, though?
Oh, I don't know.
It's the Who and then a bunch of...
Where's James Drake from?
Let's find out.
He is from Blackpool.
It wasn't Ticket to Blackpool.
Oh, Jethro Tull's from. There we go. Ticket to Aqualung.
Ticket to Aqualung. Oh, man.
Anyways, next, Mustache Mountain's backstage. They were showing off their merch shirts.
Wait, who is this?
Mustache Mountain. Did you miss this?
Oh, no, this was good. Trent was
warming up with his resistance
bands. And
Tyler Breeze was
Tyler
dropping
Breeze.
a promo.
Tyler Breeze. Hey, Trent Seven.
Tyler Bate, sorry.
We're going to take these guys on.
I knew I was going to do that during this episode, too.
Tyler Bate, the mumbler. We're going to go tell you, what we're going to do. And then Trent Seven's like, oh, yeah, we're going to do that. No shit, by the way. So his head's on, right? I've just been tickled by all these pictures of British Strong Style with Millie McKenzie.
Oh, yeah.
There's like a bunch of them out there tickling the crap out of me. There's one with like Tyler Bate. They're in like the corner and just stepping out of it. Tyler Bate with Pete Dunne on his back, who has Millie McKenzie on her back, who has Trent Seven on her back.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
It's pretty funny.
I don't know what it's all about, but it's awesome. So yeah, that match happened next. Joe Coffey versus Trent Seven. That's sort of when I started to tune out. I might watch this match later on.
Oh yeah, it was fine. It was actually pretty fun. Early on, Seven kind of floats over a suplex attempt from Joe Coffey, lands, tweaks his knee. That's like Trent Seven.
Ticket to Mayhem is what I guess they called it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tweaks his knee. That's kind of Trent Seven's storyline now. Is that when he hears a match, he hurts his knee. Tyler Bate, of course, came down. Tyler Bate had his phone in his pocket of his tight fake leather pants. So there's a section where he got involved, needed a suicide dive, another move. I was like, oh gosh, you're going to break your phone.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't think of anything else. Anyways, Tyler Bate, Mark Coffey, Wolfgang, they all brawl. They take it backstage. There's this nasty spot where Joe Coffey hits a belly-to-belly off the apron onto the floor. It was rough.
Oh, yeah? That's cool.
It was a good spot. In the end, Trent Seven goes for a burning hammer. His knee gives out. And then Joe Coffey hits his discus lariat for the win. Mm-hmm. And thus concludes episode 15.
Oh, so Coffey picked up the win?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did you say it was like was it clean?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay. Wow, okay. Let's see here. Next up, we had NXT UK 16. Kicked off with Gallus. Again, a deep cut Dan Auerbach song brings them out. Wolfgang and Mark Coffey versus Ashton Smith and Ligero from Leeds.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, there's a friendo who tweeted out to me, who was to us, the Real Going in Raw account, who's in Leeds, I believe, and wants to get together
for
a
Wrestle Kingdom party,
Wrestle Kingdom watch party with other friendos that might be interested. That would be awesome. If you guys are interested, take a picture and we'll put it on the show.
Definitely.
So in any event, this is sort of standard. Ligero got a bunch of jumpy stuff in. Ashton Smith was all over the place.
He was fighting with intensity, right?
Yeah, exactly. His style of intensity. Mark Coffey picked up the win with a big jumping kick to the head of probably Ashton Smith. After that, we had an Isla Dawn Rhea Ripley segment up against Sid Scala was there and the freaking headmaster Johnny Saint was there, and they had the NXT backdrop and the focus is all over the place. It was one of those segments where they make the championship match for next week. So either probably episode 17 or maybe 18 is going to have this particular match.
Cool.
So Isla Dawn was very happy about this. She will spend the next week summoning her
powers.
powers.
Maybe they'll have an intern actually do the effects.
Could be. Find the dude who did the Impact stuff.
Yeah.
Where Rosemary?
Oh yeah.
After that, we had Gallus in the stairwell. They really love these stairwell interviews. After post-match stairwell interviews.
Is Gallus.
Yes. Stairwell is definitely Gallus. So what's his name? Radzi? Is that his name? The dude, the interviewer? He was asking him, this is a dominant victory. Do you think it was enough to impress John Saint? And Joe Coffey was like, yeah, but I want Pete Dunne. We're Gallus. We don't win. We take things. I'm going to take that. He said, but first, I'm going to get that Travis Banks guy, and I'm going to squash him like a bug. And Wolfgang was sort of his hype man during this entire promo back there. Yeah, tell him, Joe. Are you going to do that? You're going to take O's teeth. You're going to do that now?
Great.
That's right, Joe. You're going to do that. He has still the thing about, he's got such a kind face. I swear, like he's always on the verge of saying something like, oh, yeah, we're going to get that Travis Banks. And then we're going to give him a hug. No, Wolfgang, no, don't say hug. Oh, yeah, no, we're going to give him a right punching and then a nice hug. Then we'll all go out for a steak meal. No, Wolfgang, no. Damn it. We're heels, we're bad guys. Makes me laugh. Anyways, after that we had
This is Jack Starr's individual.
So he looks like he could be either 12 or 60.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's got a beard, but I mean, there's some 12-year-olds like Big Jeff. I think had a beard at 12. Small guy, very pale, very blonde, super old or young face. Can't really tell.
Interesting.
That was Jack Starr's. Great name.
Yeah, it's a good name. Calls himself the self-made machine.
Yeah.
Can machines even make themselves?
Well, I think they're making machines that are like self-replicating, or I might be thinking of an episode of Star Trek.
I hope that's not a real thing. That sounds
nanoprobes.
Yeah, I remember nanobots.
Nanobots.
Yeah.
But maybe that's not a real thing. I don't know anymore.
I hope it's not a real thing. That's horrifying to think that machines
Even
could create themselves.
Vic
Our
Joseph,
days are numbered if that's the case.
He was confused also. He said he calls himself a self-made machine. What is that, Nigel? And Nigel didn't really know either. So maybe there's some new technology. They're making new stuff all the time, man.
Yeah, can machines just make themselves now?
I don't know. At some point, are people going to be able to make themselves if we're made of enough self-made machine stuff?
Well, humans make themselves now.
At what? Well, no, they need another human to do
I
it.
know.
They can't. I didn't make myself.
No, I know.
My parents made me.
I understand. That's what I'm saying. But you put two machines in a room, a machine's not going to come forth from one of them. Machines can't spawn machines, can they?
Well, that's what an assembly line is these days, man. They got these robots,
but they're all programmed.
Making machines.
They're all programmed, but the
So
brains
are people.
The brains behind all those robots are people.
I think the point is this: something else made this phone.
Yes,
this phone didn't make itself.
Yeah, I know. That's my point.
So if I'm a self-made person, I've sprung from what?
The
Nothing.
ether.
Yeah, the ether.
The astral plane.
Oh man, it's so confusing. In any event, Joseph Connors beat the shit out of him.
Well, I guess my point was like,
oh, I'm not supposed to curse anymore.
If we put these two together and start doing this, another iPhone is not going to be made from it.
Right. No, I get that. They don't do sex. Anyways.
Yeah, you can't cuss anymore, man. Come on.
I know. I'm sorry. Now we're back to square one. Anyways.
It's all your fault.
Joseph Connors, once again, sporting slow Wolfpack colors, but also gold sequins. He looked immaculate.
Great robe.
But then he's a bad guy. This is a total squash match. Joseph Connors wins with whatever the hell he calls his finish.
Don't look down.
Don't look. Yeah, okay, they said that. Yeah, Nigel's like, oh, don't look down for reals or something like that. And I was like, is that the name of his finish? Okay.
Yeah, don't look down.
All right. Kind of a wonky finish. When I have to pay attention and write notes, I find all sorts of crazy stuff. And then at that point, Vic and Nigel started talking, and I couldn't hear a word because the Joseph Connors music was drowning him out. Oh God! Next, let's see here. How do you call it? Zia Brookside?
Yeah.
Zia? Is it Zia or Zia?
Zia.
Zia Brookside? She's great.
Yeah, she's really
she's
good.
charming as all get out.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks like a comic book character. It's great. She was being interviewed in a sea of darkness. I don't know where they were. There was literally, it was like the negative zone, man.
Wow.
So she was talking some crap about Ginny because they're going to have a match. And then Ginny just creeps up from the ether behind her. Woo, like yeah, like that. Anyway, she just sort of stares at her, you know. She just rolled up on her while she was talking crap about her. So, yeah. Next up, we had a Tyson T-Bone Radio Package.
Wait, is this right?
Yeah.
Space Cat guy? What's the motivation behind that?
Zero. Although, by the end, they were finishing each other's sentences. So maybe they're in the pub. They were both mourning over their losses because Space Cat got kicked out of his team by Joseph Connors, who is like a singles guy now. And then Tyson T-Bone, he got beat up by Dave Mastiff, right? Was that the match?
Yeah, but they weren't partners.
No, I know they weren't partners, but he lost.
Yeah, he did lose.
So he has no claim to the Pete Dunne title.
None.
And yeah, it was kind of like a Lars Sullivan video, but it was actually really well done. And then, yeah, so he's going to be partners with Space Cat guy, which seems ill-fitting to say the least.
Yeah.
So, yeah. After that, we had Ginny versus Zia Brookside. Really, really fun match. Both really quality wrestlers. Ginny started out with a bunch of submission stuff. Zia came back with a Hunan Kanrana Aura Frankenstein.
Well, it was off the top rope?
No.
Then it wasn't a Frankenstein.
No, maybe it was what was on the second rope?
We can't sit on the second rope. If it's off the ropes, it's a Frankenstein.
You can sort of stand on the...
Yeah, you stand the second rope.
It was the thing where you jump up on their shoulders and then flip them over.
But were they on the ropes or no?
Maybe. I don't remember.
If they weren't on the ropes, it's not a Frankensteiner.
It was one of the two. Anyways, you can talk about that with Scott Steiner. Jenny gets control back. She wins with a touch of couture.
Oh, her finisher's great.
It's like a Rainmaker, but with a Kopu kick.
Yeah.
I had to look up what that kick was.
Yeah.
Kopu kick.
That's a cool finisher. I like that.
I'm going to forget the name of that finish like later on.
Touch of couture.
Touch of couture.
A Dave Mastiff video package. Interview or just B-roll?
Well, the video package probably means B-roll. That's probably what it was.
Some music.
After that, we had a very brief Liverpool's #1 and James Drake promo. James Drake, I swear that he's just putting more stuff on that denim jacket of his.
I think he's just buying larger jackets, put more stuff on it.
I think it's probably the case. Gibson says, you saw what we did last week. That was the tip of the iceberg. And soon we're going to be the first tag champions. And that's it.
That's it?
It was very brief. It was
Why
like
couldn't he
two
have done that
sentences.
before their match?
I don't know. They need to fill time.
Weird.
Main event was Dave Mastiff. Bomber Dave Mastiff versus Big Thin Eddie Dennis. Thin Eddie. Mastiff started off strong. Eddie Dennis tries to mount a comeback, but he got a fun splash out of nowhere. Lots of fun splashes in NXT UK. Mastiff missed a senton. Dennis kicked Mastiff out of the ring. Mastiff tried to get in, eats a boot. Dennis keeps on bugging the ref to try to get him a count-out victory. Didn't get it, though. They take it to the outside. Eddie Dennis takes over. Back in the ring, Mastiff hits a nasty headbutt. They both go up to the top turnbuckle. Superplex. Mastiff hits on Eddie Dennis. Mastiff runs at Dennis, who gets him with, I think, either like a signature finisher. I don't know what his finisher is. Anyways, it looked like a cool move. Mastiff kicked out of that. Dennis sort of got up against the ropes. Ref was trying to break it up. Dennis got in a cheap shot, but then Mastiff sort of took back over, back up to the top turnbuckle. But then Eddie Dennis takes over on the top, goes down, goes for a top rope razor's edge. Well, kind of a top rope. Not really. It's not a top. Well, Mastiff was on the top rope, so it was like a regular razor's edge, just with an assist from the top rope.
Yeah.
But still, he was able to walk out like 4 steps with giant Mastiff on his back in razor's edge position. He couldn't keep him up, but then Eddie Dennis gave him a big clothesline. Mastiff kicks out of that. Mastiff hits his corner cannonball thing, drags Dennis out, pins him for the win. So Eddie Dennis now has to look for a tag team partner.
Sounds like a hard-fought match.
Yeah, no, it was a really good match. It was a fun match. It was good. So yeah, thus concludes the WWE deep cuts on the network for the week.
Yes.
We should add main event to the schedule.
Oh, dear.
For Thursdays.
Oh,
I think
dear.
that'd be great. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
That would be
indeed.
too much.
Absolutely. Anyways, we should probably answer some questions.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Where am I? Josh Little says, I think that NXT needs more open challenges. Agreed. It was cool to see Tyler Breeze come back.
Mm-hmm.
Rich Hardesty, I desperately want EC3 and Otis shirt shopping now. That'd be a good segment.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be good.
EC3 tries to give Heavy Machinery a makeover.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Josh Little, who do you think will win the cage match next week? I can't comment on that.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't. I saw like a picture of what happened, so I can't talk about that. And please don't spoil it in the comments.
Yes.
either.
I'm Gnarly says R-Truth comes out at number 30 in the Women's Rumble.
That'd be pretty funny.
That'd be pretty funny.
That'd be pretty good. That I could actually see that happening.
Yeah. Andy Nero asked, are we really going to have Jinder or R-Truth coming out at number 30?
It's going to be R-Truth. Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Because, why not? Like I said yesterday, us knowing number 30 avoids the disappointment of having literally, it doesn't, here's the thing, it wouldn't matter who comes out at number 30, it'll be a disappointment. Unless it's like, name somebody who wouldn't be a disappointment, like Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or Cody or something like that.
Yeah.
Anybody else would be a disappointment. So you're taking that element away. So I'm fine with it.
Michael Robinson, first question, should NXT invest in Pyro, yay or nay? Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
More
absolutely.
Pyro, the better.
Stop signing all these people. Invest in instead of one of these contracts. Just do Pyro. Although I suppose one of those NXT UK contracts is about the price of Pyro for like one episode.
Maybe.
James Fletcher, if you can only watch one wrestler currently on Raw, one on SmackDown, one on 205 Live, one NXT and UK, and one Indie Star, who would it be?
Seth, Daniel Bryan, Mustafa Ali, Tommaso Ciampa, Pete Dunne, and I guess it depends what you qualify as an Indie Star.
I can't get enough of those Jeff Cobb matches.
Yeah, he's real good.
So, I mean, if you're saying non-WWE guy, it'd be like Jeff Cobb.
Adam Mayhem.
Or like Okada.
He's not an indie guy. He's in New Japan.
Well, when he says one Indie Star, I mean, he's saying one from...
Not in WWE.
Not in WWE.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah, Okada. Minoru Suzuki.
There you go. So I'll go with different answers here. One currently on Raw, I'll go with Elias. One on SmackDown, I'll go with Becky Lynch. One on 205 Live, Leo Rush. NXT. Io Shirai. NXT UK. Liverpool's number one. One Indie Star. Yeah, Okada.
Richard Fitzpatrick. First, who is the best heel on NXT UK and 205 Live? Best heel in NXT UK, I guess, has to be Joe Coffey or Gallus. They're at least positioned to be the strongest heels.
So the Coffees, their faces look mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they look legitimately
especially
like...
Joe Coffey. He looks mean.
Man, he looks so mean.
He legitimately looks mean.
Yeah. 205 Live.
Oh, it's Buddy Murphy.
Kind of feel like when he's in a good position, it's Drew Gulak.
Yeah.
But, like, they just have Buddy Murphy in this great position, and he is a really, really good heel. But I kind of think Drew, if he's in the right position. But if you have the guy doing nothing, then he's not going to really be able to show that he's really good.
Yep.
Let's see here. Mr. Lipkin Unlimited. Who from NXT would you want to debut in the upcoming Royal Rumble and actually win the thing? Realistically, who could enter the Royal Rumble from NXT and win it? Baby.
Adam Cole, baby.
Absolutely. Boy, that'd be something else.
Undisputed.
He was in it last year.
Yeah.
Who do you think we're going to see? Because somebody's going to be.
I wouldn't be surprised if Velveteen Dream is in the Rumble this year.
That's a good point. That's actually a good one.
Wolfpack for life. This has nothing to do with NXT or 205, but I think TLC will make this theory more complicated. Should the Heath Slater ref storyline end with Baron being fired and Stephanie makes Heath the GM to make up for his mistreatment by Baron?
That's a bit much, but I mean, I'd be fine seeing that. I'd be cool with that. I like Heath Slater. I think he's really good. I think he's a really good talker.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be fun. Let's see here. Tim Morris. Are they priming Trent Seven to be the top face on NXT UK with the plan to have Pete Dunne join NXT proper exclusively? I don't know. I think they have tag team plans for Trent Seven. I think Mustache Mountain isn't going anywhere as a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Mastiff as top face, right?
Probably.
There's somebody I'm missing, or Travis Banks.
Yeah,
Maybe
Travis
Travis Banks. Him or Mastiff. Or maybe they'll form a tag team. Let's see here. Patrick Mack. I understand this has nothing to do with the show, but a couple weeks ago you said you were looking at doing a Patreon feed for your audio podcast. Is that doable at all?
We're still looking into it.
We are actively talking about it and figuring that out, what it would look like. So stay tuned. I'm not sure we're able to do an RSS feed that's sort of private for Patreon, ad-free. But if nothing else, I think we'd be able to upload the audio to the Patreon wall, so you'll get notifications every day when it comes in.
Friendo Club Hunter Big Hoss, you two are in charge of booking an 8-man Hoss tournament for a new NXT tournament between wrestlers from the main roster, NXT and NXT UK. Who would you pick? Book the matches up to the finals and a winner. So let's pick 8, and we'll do who's in the finals and who wins.
All right. Well, both Heavy Machinery are like prime Hosses.
All right, that's 2.
Dave
Mastiff's got to be in there.
Mastiff for sure. There's so many Hosses in NXT UK.
I know. Who won Maine?
There's so many guys on main. Like, I don't consider Braun a Haas. He's like up in monster territory.
Yeah.
So I don't
Let's just
consider
stick to
him a
NXT
Haas.
and NXT UK because then it's consistent.
Oh, Gallus.
Okay.
That brings us to 6.
All right.
Who else in NXT is gonna? I consider Cassius Ohno a Haas, even though he doesn't really wrestle Haas. But there's 7. Oh, Keith Lee.
All right. Well,
There
Keith
you
Lee
go.
wins then.
Yeah, Keith Lee wins.
Keith Lee wins. Joseph McGinnis and kayfabe, does Tyler Breeze need to file any paperwork to wrestle in NXT since he's on the main roster? I would think you'd have to do something. No, he'd have to file some paperwork with Regal, yes.
No, the only paperwork anybody needs to file in kayfabe is either a hold harmless agreement, that's if you're not cleared to wrestle, or a contract signing for like a main event match. But that always has to be done in public. Otherwise, there's no paperwork to be had.
The Core 231, who wins from number 1 in their Rumble, Seth or Becky? Seth.
From number 1, it's Seth. They set that up with his gauntlet match. If they care at all about long-term foreshadowing and storyline. But we all know they don't. That's today's episode. Patrons at $5 and up. Stay tuned. We've got a terrific post show coming up. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway,
this guy with long-term books.
I wonder if they can hear us or if our music is drowning us out like it drowns out half of NXT UK.
Don't know.
Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. We appreciate it. Till next time, I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.